Death and disease are at our door. And why? Because we have allowed criminals like those at Monsanto to poison and pollute our food supply, our most basic essential thing in this life. We have something now called pediatric cancer. It shouldn't even exist. I shouldn't even need to say those words in the same sentence, but not only does it exist, but over the past few decades has increased dramatically. And what's happening? I'm going to talk to you today about the reasons why that's happening, and we can get a foreshadowing of this by looking into the insects and the rodents and how they are affected by genetically modified food. What's killing the Canadian honeybees? And of course, it's not just Canada, it's all over the world. The honeybee population, which is essential for the food supply. Without the honeybees, we don't have a food supply. They're dying off. Years over years, it's not just 1 year, this has happened year over year. The honeybee population is dying. And if they're dying, guess who's next? GMOs are killing our ladybugs and attacking biodiversity. And they're saying that if these ladybugs are consuming Monsanto's herbicide Roundup, which they all are, all these genetically modified foods are being sprayed down with this herbicide and the pesticides, and when they eat it, they die. That's number two. And what about this? Cancer. Roll over GM foods as study says it did this to rats can cause organ damage and early death in humans. I'm going to show you the picture. If you're a little squeamish, turn away. But take a look at this. You may have seen this. This is a study that was done out of France. And this just speaks for itself. I'll go away from that. And, this should bring up a real alarm to some people. This should say, okay, I need to know what genetically modified foods are. I need to know how to get them out of my system. I don't want them in my children's bodies. I don't want them in my own body. And if I'm going to grow my own food and when I go to the store, I want to make sure that this stuff is not genetically modified because I don't want to turn out like these animals and insects with a short life cycle. I want to be able to live a healthy life so that my liver doesn't get polluted and my kidneys so that those things don't need to be, basically the first line of defense and then we die after that. Chinese policy on GMOs exhibits a double standard. See, the Chinese Ministry of Education saw this type of thing and they realized that they don't want to consume it. However, they still serve it to the school children. So sort of the elite class, the upper class of people are allowed to not have to basically consume food that's going to kill them. However, they feed it to the school children, no doubt. And to follow suit, the Ministry of Finance did the same thing and they said we don't want any genetically modified foods around here. So two of the higher echelon of the government in China are saying no to genetically modified foods. Monsanto's cafeteria saying no to genetically modified foods. At the same time, they're feeding it to the children. All of these children's foods in the US and Canada, the UK, all of the Western nations contain genetically modified foods. This is a disaster to us. Take a look at the short life cycle creatures in this world that are being polluted and dying by the genetically modified foods. What do you think is going to happen to us? Take a look at this. I can't even believe I'm reading this right now. But I believe this stat is from 2011. 175,000 children each year getting cancer. That's according to the WHO. 175,000 per year. Imagine how many are going unreported. This is hundreds of thousands of children getting pediatric cancer that shouldn't even exist. That word should not exist, and it's increasing every single year. Why? Look at what we're eating. Look at every single package. Look at that label and read it, and you will find 99% of the time it has something genetically modified in it. We're not supposed to be eating things that were from a kingdom that we're not even supposed to meet. Why can they take bacteria and throw it inside of a corn, for example? And it's not supposed to happen, but they're doing it anyway. They're really screwing up the food supply. And I'll tell you why this is a huge disaster, even if it doesn't affect us directly. If there's, for example, a rootworm that is destroying one of the crops, it's not going to destroy just that one crop. It's going to destroy that crop along the whole world as it spreads, because it is only one gene. It is the exact same plant planted all over the world now. No longer do we have that biodiversity. This will be a disaster. They can collapse the entire food supply instantly. This is such idiotic behavior. It is a mad scientism right here. If you guys want more truth, if you guys want more knowledge, get onto the Money GPS Insiders. This is where I can get into the deeper analysis that I can't get to on the YouTube channel, and I hope you'll join me there. Take care.